Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Final Tackle podcast, and we're joined by, honestly, one of the best utility bench players for the Bears at the moment. Her name is Mary Taupau. I probably butchered that. Sorry. Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you.
No worries. Obviously, let's get started. The Bears, the season so far. You guys have got a game, which is the grand final qualifying game coming up on Saturday. What's the vibe like amongst the girls and the team in general leading into Saturday?
I mean, we had a training run last night. Everyone's pretty hyped, pretty excited. You can just feel the energy. Everyone's just really looking forward to the game this weekend. So it's going to be a big game. So
No,
everyone's just really excited. Yeah.
that's awesome. How are you personally feeling about the game coming up?
Not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty nervous. I mean, I shouldn't be even though I'm starting off the bench, but it's fine. I mean, I'm just hyped. I'm pretty excited. So I guess I'm just thriving off everyone else's energy, and it's pretty good. So
Yeah, so it's
just
it's
pretty
it's a
hyped.
good, happy, excited vibe amongst the whole team, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Nah, that's
definitely.
that's awesome. Well, I mean, I'll be there, so hopefully you guys get the win. But again, if you don't, it's not the end of the world. Um, Now talking about your time at the Bears, what was it like going from Souths over to the Bears, and what was it like at the Souths compared to the Bears?
Oh wow. I mean, talent is everywhere I go. I mean, from Souths. I mean, I guess I knew a lot of people there, and as well moving across the Bears, I knew people as well. So I was comfortable with the Souths and then to the Bears. So there wasn't really much of a difference. It was just different culture. I mean, Redfern, just a lot of Aboriginal, so different kind of cultures, and then
Yep.
coming to the Bears, just yeah, there's different variety. So now it's cool to just switch in and join the Bears. So definitely a good experience as well. So
No, that's awesome. What was the deciding factor to go to the Bears from Souths for you?
I didn't really decide on anything. I just because I stopped playing for a bit, so I gave up a year playing. So I thought I'd have a break to just to focus on myself, and then I needed. I was just speaking to a lot of my mates, and they were at the Bears as well, so they needed some girls. So I just went along, and next thing you know, I'm playing for the Bears.
Yeah, next thing you're in the team, which is awesome.
Pretty much.
And speaking of, you're more or less at the peak. The only next best bet would be the NRLW, which is, I'm sure, something that you're aspiring to, either this season, next season, whenever. But going to your grassroots in Manurewa, what was it like? Going from going from grassroots all the way up to all pretty much the top level of rugby league.
Oh wow! To be honest, it's been a massive improvement for me. I mean, from when I first started playing league up till now, I can see the improvement. So I'm pretty stoked with how far I've come. I've definitely seen the change. The game is growing. A lot of talent coming up, starting from the young ones that are coming through. So I can see the change, and it's been pretty good. I've enjoyed every season, every team I've been a part of. So yeah, it's pretty good. I love it.
That's awesome. Did you play any other sports, during that year off, or and in general, growing up and all that?
Throughout that year, I actually didn't play anything. I mean, besides tag, I started playing tag, or you guys call it Oz tag here. I'm
Yep.
originally from New Zealand, so I did grow up playing soccer all my life. So, yeah, soccer will always have my heart. To be honest, that's my go-to sport. That's my number one sport. So, other than soccer, I mean, I pretty much played every sport in high school, primary school, intermediate school. So I just joined whatever sport. So, yeah, I mean, sports pretty much my life. So without it, I don't know what I'll be doing to be honest. So
No,
pretty
that
grateful
that's
to
fair. So
yeah to be
continue.
playing.
No, that's
But
awesome.
yeah, no, I've just been playing just yeah soccer, rugby league, tag. I mean, I even joined like table tennis in high school, which
Oh
is
wow!
random. So
Like literally
yeah,
every
so just
sport you've tried your hand at.
yeah, you name it, just whatever sport, netball, yeah, squash, tennis, you name it.
No, that's awesome. And obviously rugby league is the one that stuck so far. And why was that? Like, what was the deciding factor to you could say focus on rugby league? Not necessarily with the Bears, because as you said you took a year off, and your friends said, hey, we need some players. But the Souths and Manurewa and all that, compared to all of the other sports that you said, like soccer, tag. What was the driving force behind sticking with league?
Wow. To be honest, I think I saw the game growing and I saw players and my good mates doing really well in footy, and I thought to myself, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. So I'm just here, just trying to improve my game, just to reach my goal. I'd love to eventually play for an NRLW level. That's something I'm aspiring to. So definitely just going to keep working it, and that's my goal. So I'll just keep playing and working on my game. Because,
Yeah, well, I mean, you never know. Like
yeah,
as we said, you've come so far after taking a year off, and you're in a team that's in the final before the grand final. Fingers crossed you guys win on Saturday. But even if you don't, that's an amazing achievement. To, as you said, you took a year off, and so definitely, I reckon you'll definitely get an NRLW start with whatever team that is. I don't know, but I reckon you'll definitely be there. Either the season coming up or next year. Definitely, you're a shoe in. What was I going to say? Who are your idols growing up? It can be sporting, it can be anything in general.
yeah. Good question. I originally grew up watching Union, so I mean from New Zealand. Union's pretty well known back home. So
Mm.
definitely the All Blacks. I grew up. I'd say Richie McCaw, Dan Carter. I mean Dan
Oh,
Carter,
Dan
Benji
Carter's
Marshall.
pinnacle.
Yeah, so I reckon Dan Carter and Benji Marshall I looked up to a lot growing up. Um, just when you're playing with your mates and you're just like, oh Benji, like you do a Benji step,
Yeah, do the Benji step or the Benji
yeah,
flick sort of thing. Yep.
yeah, so 100%, those two are probably my top. But for me, now that I'm sticking in league at the moment, probably Martin Taupau. I mean, who knows? Could be related, but
It'd be
he's
cool if you
definitely
are.
somebody I look. Yeah, he's definitely somebody I look up to at the moment with league. Now that I'm full on league at the moment, yeah.
No, that's cool. And you mentioned to me of I think it was yesterday or the day before that you're Samoan and Maori heritage. What does it mean to you to be able to, more or less be making it in such a big sport, from two nations that the sport is, other than rugby, the number one sport?
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I'd love to like rep my country and do it proud. I mean, definitely those that have passed it and paved the way for us. So I'd definitely love to keep the movement of the talent, just keep it going. So those that are coming through, can just look at us and just carry it on. So definitely love my culture, and I don't think I'd be here without it. So definitely wear it on my sleeve, and proud to be Samoan and born in New Zealand. So yeah, definitely.
Now, for
Cool.
sure. Well, I mean, the Kiwi Ferns have a massive pool of talent, and you'll definitely be added to that sooner or later. Like, honestly, it's just a matter of time whenever that is. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Oof. I'll probably say teleportation. I'd love to
Yeah.
just, well, it just I'm over here in a bank or here in Fiji, just flick the switch and
Yep, you'd
I'm
be like, I
somewhere
want
else.
to, I want to go to Samoa. I'm there.
Yep, 100%. That's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair, because a lot say flying, but I always think teleportation would be a lot more of a better skill, because you don't have to waste the energy flying. You can just, I'm there.
Exactly. Yeah, could you just be up there for ages when you could just click and you're pretty much there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
100%.
What is your current Netflix binge that you're watching, or it can be HBO, or just in general something that you're binging at the moment?
I mean, I first started off when I did watch Netflix. It was probably Pretty Little Liars. I mean, I watched I binge watched that. But at the moment, right now, I'll probably say Power. That's on Stan, I think.
Hmm.
Yep, I don't know. Sort of Power. Yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty addictive. So yeah,
no, that's
pretty
cool.
good.
Um, Now the finals run. Obviously, we spoke about the game coming up on Saturday, but the Bears have been phenomenal in the finals so far. Kept the Bunnies scoreless, and you guys beat the Tigers. What was it like, in general for those 2 weeks? And obviously the vibe is boosted so much more now because it's like, yes, we've got this. But what's the difference like now compared to the first week of the finals amongst the girls?
Oh wow! I mean, I think now because we did have a few players that were a bit like injured and some
Hmm.
were off, and so we all just stepped up and just came together. So I noticed that a lot of change, and then now with our main players back, I mean, you can just see everyone coming together even more. I mean, the growth with our team from the start of the year till now, and you can just see it. So I think everyone's just very excited and just ready. I mean, yeah, we just
Well, I
got to
mean,
pump.
honestly, you guys. I mean, I did speak to Nita, as you know, earlier, and she said that you guys are going up against the Sharks, which are, you could say, a bogey team for you guys this year because they did beat you in the regular season. So how are you personally feeling going up against the Sharks in the finals?
I don't think I played that game, so I was
Okay.
definitely on the side, but I could just see, I could see what how good they play. They've got a lot of so much talent actually in that squad. So for myself, I'm pretty nervous, but I reckon just sticking with the team,
And just do like
just
if everyone does their individual role, you know,
exactly
and
one
then it'll
percenters,
all
yeah,
come. Yeah. No,
for
exactly.
sure, yeah,
That's awesome. That's pretty much all you guys need to do is just do the one, as Nita said, do the 1%. Do your job, and everyone else's job does theirs. And all that jazz. It'll be great. It should be a good day anyway. Um, I'm just trying to check. I've done Idols, Netflix, Power. What advice would you give to any young girls and kids in general who would love to make it in the big league like you have so far?
Oh, I'll probably say just to if playing for league and reaching a level as high as NRW or whatnot, sticking to your goals, working hard. I mean, you don't get far with anything from like getting it easy like that. Just keep working hard. Everything's you'll see your progress from when you start till when you reach your goal. So it'll be a good experience. Just keep at it, keep working hard. Pretty much. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. We've got a question from our sponsor, SkyeSpark Electrical, and they ask, what advice would you give to your younger, like what if you could write a letter, or if you could say something to like 10-year-old you, what would it be and why?
Oh, oh my gosh, that's a hard
It
one.
can be advice, it can be a letter, it can be anything.
I would have just said don't give up. I mean, there's times where I do want to give up, like for example on the field or trainings, or I wake up one day and I don't want to do something. I reckon just don't give up. Keep pushing, yeah, and just don't give up. Pretty much, yeah.
No, that's awesome. Um, Now, uh, one second. I'm just quickly reading. I'm looking at my list. I'll edit this little bit out while I'm looking at my list. Um, Trying to remember exactly what that, because I don't write my questions down. I just write dot points and form questions off that. So I've covered Souths, I've covered Bears, I've covered the finals, I've covered your grassroots, I've covered your idol slash hero, Netflix, power, advice, NRLW, other sports. I'm trying to figure out what that other one means. That's right. So because it's start slash how. So I think that may as I said, I'll edit this bit out. So I'm just going to do a quick clap so I can find the point where I need to edit. Um, so talking about how you got your start in, the Harvey Norman Premiership from Souths to Bears, and obviously you said, you took a year off. How did it feel to go from, more or less grassroots, not necessarily Manurewa, but in general, grassroots to Souths, like, and how big of an impact has that had on your life so far?
Oh, huge impact. I remember when I first started, I was so quiet, and I keep to myself. I couldn't even talk on the field. Like from my first coach, his name was Rusty. He was for him to just pave my way through. I always now, even now, to playing from Bears to looking back at where I first started at Rewa, in my head, I'm always just like, don't forget your 1%ers. So I mean, don't forget your roots pretty much. So I've noticed a change in how far I've come from playing Rewa, Greenacre, Redfern, Rabbits till now. I mean, I can see the huge change, the huge impact. I've grown a lot of confidence. So I'm grateful to be to have played for all of these teams and especially now playing for the Bears. So
No, that's
it's
awesome.
great.
Who has the, you could say, weirdest pre-game superstition or ritual sort of thing at the Bears? It doesn't necessarily, you don't have to name names, but more or less, let's go with, sorry, 1 second clap. What is the weirdest superstition or ritual that you've seen pre-game during your time with Souths and the Bears and in general?
Oh. We don't. I don't really notice. I mean, everyone's just. We've got loud music pumping, so everyone's just. You could probably see like Skucky or Shanice Parker's dance moves over here, or Kira Dibb's footwork over here, or Monica. So all our dance moves is we just randomly dance pretty much. So we just get in a good vibe, and then we take that good vibe into the field. So yeah.
No, that's awesome. Do you have a pre-game meal that you have, every word vomit, every game day?
Not really. I mean, I usually just start off with a shake or a banana. To be honest, I don't really eat much before the game because
Hmm.
I feel heavy, so I like to pack light. And then as soon as after the game,
Just mung it
big
down.
feed, big feed. Yeah,
Nah,
definitely a well feed straight after the game. Yeah.
that's fair. What is your favorite post game meal? Then let's go with that.
I mean, lately we've been playing for the Bears. It's always been like a chicken snitty or steak. So I've noticed because we just go to the club next to whatever field we play at, and I've
Hmm.
just noticed it's always been a fast feed. So, I mean, at the moment it's that. I mean, other than that, our manager, our best manager, her name's Lauren. Shout out to Lauren. She always provides pizzas, boxes of pizza that
Nina was
everyone.
telling me that she has that you guys have pizzas, and I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, pizzas. Yeah, big feed after the game. So yeah, it's good.
What's your favorite type of pizza, and does pineapple belong on pizza?
Oh my god. Um, I mean, I'm plain. I like cheese. I just love my
Yeah,
cheese
just
pizzas,
a
but
cheese pizza. Yep.
just the cheese pizzas, lots of cheese. To be honest, I even get the crust. You gotta have
The
the
cheesy
cheese in the
crust.
crust as
Oh,
well. Yeah,
yes.
that's probably the best.
Do you get the garlic creme fraiche one? The one that's like garlic and cheese, but like that's it because I
And
love that
cheese,
pizza.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yum! It's just, pizza's just that
Pizza's
good.
is great, but
And
do you think pineapple belongs on pizza though? Because I don't.
to be honest, I don't think so either. I mean, I've eaten it before, but I'm not fussed. But I don't
Yeah,
reckon it does.
exactly. Like
Yeah,
I'm more of a if someone you know orders pizza and like knows I'm coming over, but they don't know if I like pineapple, I won't be rude and not eat it if it's got pineapple on it. But I
yeah,
personally, if I
yeah,
would order it, I'll order it without, I'll order one that doesn't have pineapple on it.
definitely, definitely.
Ah, well, I think honestly that about wraps it up. I'm just trying to think if there's any other topics.
Well, I've enjoyed it. I mean, for my first time having a podcast interview thing, I've actually